Welcome to the top 16, the full top 16. We'll also have the top 8 and grand finale in a separate video. We're posting these videos because you're liking, commenting, subscribing, and watching as much as you can. Thank you very much for the immense support. It's been insane. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
This is the Arise Heart release, and for our first duel, we have Kashtira versus Punk. Punk something? Punk Kashtira? Let's go. Emergency teleporting as I summon some birds accidentally. We got the Wagon searching for the field spell. The Extreme Session's going to be able to draw up to 2 cards per turn here. This will be our first draw. Gamma is going to negate and destroy. Ash is going to negate. Now, Gamma is not a hard once per turn. We could activate it again. We're just going to have to wait for a separate monster effect in order to activate it. We're going to get that search. We're going to get the Extreme Session to get that draw 1. So the Ash negate was very good here. Do we Gamma this? Nope. We're waiting, maybe for something like the Scareclaw, and we're now going to be banishing with the graveyard to special summon our Deer Note to now Shokan into the Dragon Drive. We could chain link block the Dragon Drive with the Deer Note in the graveyard, so we cannot negate the Dragon Drive searching for a level 3 Psychic, which will be a Madame, or it could be a Ghost Ogre, or I should say the Ogre. All right. We're going to be drawing the second and final time, and now we can look at the hand and get rid of the Gamma. Huh? Okay. Get rid of the Lance. Keep the Gamma. Goodbye to Lance. We're not going to activate any more relevant monster effects, and we're good. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Gamma dead. Yup. And the Kashtira cards don't activate in the hand. Flip that down. And just look at this. This is why Book of Moon's so good. Not only flip down the Arise Heart, but what do? Can't summon Unicorn, can't summon Fenrir, can't do any other plays. Simply flipping down their first summon, that is usually good enough. That's it. Big Bang, completely dead here. We need a Kashtira Exceed in order to activate it, then I'll talk about what it does. Punk Kashtira. How much Kashtira? We got the Scareclaw as the Gamma's being blocked from being activated, making the Rising Carp. We should be turning this into a lethal play. Now we're going to be drawing one the Jam Session, getting our Max C here. Shokan into the Amazing Dragon, which could spin the entire field back into the deck. And now the Rising Carp is giving the Amazing Dragon the ability to double attack. We got lethal on field. That's it. 9,000 damage. Okay, I mean, it's still going to summon, right? Maybe you should not have done that. Your opponent activates, do you have to negate? Because it is unaffected while we're lower. You special summon, then you negate. Now you're getting blocked up. Just do not do that. Okay, so a little mishap here. We did have lethal, and no more do we have lethal here. Get that, okay. We don't want to attack to then lower our life points than theirs, because then we would become affected. We got to stay lower life than the opponent. The Rising Carp is multiple attacks even directly. Just double check here. Second attack during the battle phase, even directly. Yup. We're going to imperm negate the Unicorn because we kind of know that their hand is not that good. Now we have the Planet Pathfinder into the field spell, which could field spell into a Scareclaw Kashtira or a Rise Heart. That's going to be the Scareclaw Kashtira play. Scareclaw Kashtira on summon, banish on resolution. We're going to be making a Shang-Ri. We're not attempting to go into Zeus. Now, the Big Bang is going to be like an evenly matched. You could activate it whenever you want. If there's 2 or more monsters on either side of the field, you have to banish face down until there's just 1. So how is this going to work out? And the Psychic End Punisher is affected by it because it affects the player, not the card. Because the Shang-Ri activated, that would trigger the field spell to pop a card in the field. And the Shang-Ri is protected from battle destruction, not forcing the use of the Big Bang. We could just wait. Now, the Amazing Dragon's going to be reborning a monster from the graveyard. I'm curious when we're going to flip up that Big Bang. Whenever we want. Right here, right now, banishing everything but 1 card, leaving up the Psychic End Punisher. We're going to be locking up a fields. 1 zone locked. We now have enemy controller to take control of the Psychic End Punisher. Now, sometimes it could be a good idea to preemptively imperm the card, because if you imperm before it activates, they cannot chain enemy controller to it activating to then take control and summon a monster from the deck because you are negated. But now, you waited for the activation. We could chain Econ. Even though this is unaffected, it will dodge the negation of impermanence and summon a monster from the deck, which is what we're doing. Dodging the negation. So do think about negating before the activation for cards like that. Now, as we are unaffected from that imperm, I should say the enemy controller, we are summoning the unicorn, also triggering the field spell to pop a card in the field, and that card happens to be a Call by the Grave, banishing and negating the on-field unicorn by fingering the one in the grave. What do? This is not good. Negated? Oh, we got a Rise Heart because we activated Shang-Ri this turn. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that was a problem. That was something. Yeah. Okay. A Rise Heart could be dealt with the Psychic and Punisher, though. Not too big of a deal. We're going to get that boost 8,900 attack. The Unicorn is no longer negated, but there's another Called By? Ain't no way. Double Called By on double Unicorn. And just like that, we are negated again. And now we're in attack position. Start of the battle phase. Boost up. I think that's lethal damage. Oh boy. It just battle phase game. Yes. And we have to remember, we did have game earlier. We're going to send the Rise Heart to open up the field for that lethal damage. Boost to 12,000 damage. Oh boy. Kashtira Punk. Maybe better than Kashtira. We're going to find that out. We could send people back to Fortnite, my friend. Just wait. Passing turn 1. What is very interesting that I learned from watching top tournament TCG gameplay of Kashtira is they want to go second in the mirror match. They don't want to go first. We're going to be Called by the Graving, banishing that Max C. Come forth, Unicorn. And, of course, this hand was not good. We're going to Scareclaw, Kashtira, banish the Theosis, and then you have no play. We do have Gamma here, though. Gamma to negate and destroy the Xiamen. Be gone. And now we can't make a Baron to floor, for example. Locking yourself out of synchros would be as soon as you activate the Theosis or activate a Rise Heart from the hand. The Rise Heart effect on the field does not lock you into Xyz only when it's special summoned. So if you normal summon the Rise Heart, you could still make synchro plays. And with Birth and level 3 tuners, it's very easy to make your Baron to floor. Special summon, banishing to trigger the Shang-Ri by banishing 3 cards off the top of their deck. And now we have that 1 card, a Rise Heart. We're going to be special summoning the banished Unicorn, and we're not making the Rise Heart. And you got to be careful about using the Shang-Ri in the mirror match because now any Kashtira could turn into an Arise. Pot of P, digging deep. Lance not so good here. Pot of D cannot be used because we activated Pot of P. We're adding a Unicorn. Very well done. As you banish face down, that's going to trigger the Shang-Ri. And now, we are not activating the Unicorn because it would trigger the Fenrir to then banish our Unicorn. We're going to Theosis summon from the deck our own Fenrir. We're not caring about triggering the Unicorn here. It's going to be looking at the extra deck, banishing a card face down, which then triggers our Fenrir. So maybe you did not want to do that possibly. We are going to be locking up another zone with that Shang-Ri. And what's going to happen here is the zone is still locked, but there's going to be a Scareclaw Kashtira there. And when it leaves the field, the zone will then be locked. Kind of interesting. So it's still valid to lock it. It does not block the lock. But in a way, it kind of does. Banish and face down. Goodbye to the Unicorn. And there's nothing happening with the Scareclaw Kashtira. It's fine. It's chilling. But we can't Arise Heart in that same spot now. We have to summon in the extra monster zone. Very well done. And now we're going to Big Eye it up. Big Eye permanently taking control of the Shang-Ri. Because the card was banished, we're going to be attaching the Theosis, which could trigger during the next turn if it is detached, to add a banished Kashtira to our hand, which could add the Scareclaw Kashtira, which could then summon within the main phase during the opponent's turn. So that is a very good play right there. Theosis and the Scareclaw. Big Eye for Big Eye. Notice how it does not have 3 materials, and we did nothing to ensure that it has 3 materials, so we could just take control of it just like that. Rise Heart, yoinking the banished Fenrir. Scareclaw Kashtira, banishing the Theosis. Theosis will be activating to add a banished Kashtira, which we can normal summon with the Birth. We have not normal summoned yet, so this is perfectly fine. The Big Eye cannot activate. And the Big Eye also can't be used for a UDF. So Big Eye is going to be good for summoning a Zeus over potentially main phase 2 as you battle with your other Kashtira Xyz. We do have Baron to floor, ready to pop a card in the field and negate. Remember, only Rise Heart activate from the hand or Theosis activate from the hand is what locks you into Xyz only. Rise Heart with that triple material, banishing the Shangri off the field. We are within main phase 1 here with 8,600 damage on the field, but the big eye cannot attack. 3k to the face. Do we have a Zeus left over in our extra deck? Even after Unicorn banishing, we still got Zeus. We are Zeusing. You can't max C when a Rise Heart's on the field. Fenrir off the top of the deck here, activating the Arise Heart, immediately banishing it off the field. Now Theosis is triggering to add back, then we could summon the Scareclaw Kashtira. That's a 2-0? That's a 2-0. Okay, Punk Kashtira defeating Pure Kashtira. I'm definitely keeping my eye out for the Punk version of the deck. That is very interesting. Let's go. Okay. Joke's on you, my hand sucks. Okay. All right, back to, we could have Griffin Rider into Ash into a level 10 Synchro if we want to. I guess we're gonna hold on to the Ash though. We don't wanna make that Baron if we're playing it. Theosis summon from the deck. Ash, negate the Theosis. The effect is negated, thus we cannot activate a second copy. And even if the activation is negated, it's worded where even if Baron negates, it still is not, another copy can't be activated, generally because it has multiple effects, that's why. We do have Forbidden Lance, which I haven't seen a good reason to use it yet today. A lot of TCG players loved it, especially for the mirror match. I'm not quite convinced yet. We got the right card searching for the Arrival, which is a more than once per turn reborn, a Scareclaw from the graveyard. Lance in the damage step, getting smaller than a 1500 attack Rise Heart. We're gonna link this off into our Light Heart, which will be searching for another field spell. But the field spell can only be activated once per turn. Arrive, come to me, right heart reborn. It is a hard once per turn on summon to get searching. We do have the Twin Saw to pop 2 cards on the field though. When do we do it? We could have done it right now to stop the summon, but we're going to wait for the summon, then get poppin'. Artifact, we're gonna use the, not Artifact Lance, but the Forbidden Lance. Protecting our Fenrir from being destroyed. We're gonna cross out Designate. I play Fenrir also. Negate the search and also negate the ability to banish a card in the field after a monster effect has been activated. I'm unaffected because of Lance. No way. It's like you negated nothing. I'm unaffected from spells, remember? Okay, we're gonna draw in Lockbird just to trigger the Fenrir here. Come forth, Rise Heart, banishing a Theosis to add back a banished Birth. Birth could then summon a Kashtira from the graveyard if we want. We got our rank 7 Exceed into the Shangri in attack position. Is this just bait? Okay, we don't want the use of the field spell. The field spell, if there's 3 monsters in defense, they could pop any card in the field. So we don't want to be one of those cards. Got the Water Enchantress in the graveyard banishing to grab the Rite of Erismere. And with the Rite of Erismere, we're going to summon a token plus the Faithful Adventure, but the Griffin has already been used up, hasn't it? Probably don't play more than 1 Griffin. We're going to be searching for our Scareclaw Kashtira, banishing from the graveyard the Twin Saw. Any monster we battle into with our Scareclaw or Kashtira is going to be negated. Now the Big Bang, just like evenly matched, is going to force them to have a token on the field. They cannot choose. Everything gets banished but the token. Tokens cannot be banished face down. You cannot target tokens with the Rise Heart to banish. You can't banish it with Fenrir. Do not make that mistake. Shangri locking up a zone, and just like that, Big Bang countering the token. Holy moly. Let's go. Next, in the draw phase, we have the Ash for the negate. This time we do not have the Gamma negate. We have Water Enchantress. We got the Rykart, which we want to make sure we don't activate on its normal summon. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to use the Rite of Erismere. Very good that the Scareclaw players now have Twin Saw to play with. The Maxi was not called by the grave earlier. We have Book of the Moon flipping down the Griffin, but we are under Maxi, so we do have to be careful here. The Birth will just be an additional normal summon, but we already used that normal summon. It's not an additional one, that is. Now the Twin Saw is popping the Unicorn and the Rise Heart in the field. We are using Forbidden Lance to protect the Rise Heart. We could use Birth to Reborn, but under Max C, I'm not really sure what we want to do here. I think we're just in big trouble. We are reborning despite being under the Max C. We're making a Donner and Special Summon Fenrir. What just happened here is the Twin Saw. If a Link 3 or higher monster is on the field, which will be our Tri-Heart, you can banish this card for the rest of the turn. Neither player can activate the effects of Link monster. It does not negate. It prevents the activation. Thus, we cannot get our Fenrir out unless we attack in. We could, if we really wanted to get Fenrir out. Wow, Twin Saw. Both effects on the same turn, which is a rare sight for multi-effect cards. We got the Arrival, which could reborn from the graveyard. Tri-Heart, reborn from the Grave Searcher deck for another Tri-Heart. Another Scareclaw card. That is, we're going to have multiple attacks here. Lethal damage with the multi-attacking Tri-Heart. That is game 2. I'm excited to play Scareclaw. Twin Saw for your turn 1 play, adding a lot more versatility. And the anti-Link ability of the Twin Saw, that's great. Triple max. Oh no. A possible common theme in today's tournament is Kashtira bricking. Straight up brick. We do have Draw and Lockbird, which could counter the first draw of the Max C, but then we can't add cards either. So we do have to be careful there. We're going to be banishing, searching first. Do we even Draw and Lockbird the Max C here? We're going to activate. If we chain Draw, then we are not able to add ourselves. So we just allow it. We allow further use of the Max C, grabbing the Draco back and a field spell here. Now, what do? We're going to, under Max C, grabbing the right card, which could special summon. Again, it is a search. We have the Gamma negate. Now we're chaining Droll and Lockbird in response to our summon so that you no longer draw for our further special summoning, which will be our Rite of Erismere, summoning the token, and our Scareclaw Astra. Arrival arrive, very good. 2 draws have been denied. Here is the 3rd draw being denied here. This is why Droll could be very good if you are not needing to add any more cards from your own deck to your hand. We have Asa. Asa, Reborn Max C, come to me. Very interesting. As we now make an Anaconda. What is going on? We're fusion summoning. What? Fusion Destiny, DPE. Ain't no way. This is great use of the Droll and Lockbird. We have denied what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draws because of Droll and Lockbird, and we have a DPE non-target destruction here. We're gonna be popping that Unicorn right away. If we had another Unicorn, it could just be special summonable. The Fenrir is gonna now be taking the place of the Unicorn as we Theosis, target, summon from the deck another Unicorn, as we now search for the Birth. Birth could reborn Unicorn from the graveyard. Birth can also allow the normal summon of the Unicorn from the hand. We have the Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation. We could go to battle, we could pop a card, we could then Zeus. We could just go straight into the Zeus, maybe wiping up the field, then further setting up with the Kashtira Birth. Sending the DPE. DPE now does not activate to come back during the next turn. That is devastating. Fenrir already activated. Additional summoning here, and we don't even need to exceed with them. Just the Unicorn and Fenrir on the open field is good enough. Dash are going to dash the Scareclaw Kashtira out onto the field here. Max C in response. Is this a good idea? You're triggering Fenrir to banish the Scareclaw on summon. Yeah, goodbye. Not that you really had another choice. It's you have to activate the Scareclaw Kashtira to even summon it. That also triggers the Fenrir. It was a checkmate. Okay. Pure Kashtira beating Scareclaw. That is quite expected. Scareclaw is more of a rogue deck here, even though it did get new support. I'm excited to see it. Thank you, Alzam, for playing. Let's hop on another one. We do have a $2,000 tournament for Kashtira with side deck this Saturday. Ash negate the Max C. We have Branded Despia versus Kashtira. I have not seen Purrely today. I don't really know what the top 16 is. I leave it up to be a surprise. We have Reinforcement of the Army searching for the Rise Heart. Field Spells searching for the Unicorn. Unicorn is the optimal setup here as we grab the Theosis. And the big question is, does a Kashtira player play around Nibiru or just make the best possible turn 1 field? This is a double Arise Heart field. And we are playing into the Nibiru despite there not being one. So I am expecting double Arise Heart, double every card being sent to the graveyard is banished, and we have double field banish. Big bang in the Shang-Ri, lock up the zone, just to get the effect of making the easy Arise Heart. Return back to the hand, come forth and summon, and there is a Rise Heart number 1. Now I'm thinking we're not going double Arise Heart. Generally, you would plop the Arise Heart over the Shang-Ri if you wanted to make double. So instead, we may just have multiple bodies on the field. That could be pretty good too. We do have non-targeting, flip the whole field face down. We have Big Bang, which could banish everything but one monster. Okay, let's see how this works out. Super Polymerization if we were to have had double Arise Heart in the field. Now the Super Poly's not activatable right now to use the Arise Heart for fusion summoning. It needs to be another dark, like the Alubur. Alubur, grabbing the branded fusion here. Unicorn being triggered. Not triggering the Fenrir. We're going to be chaining the Super Polymerization, discarding the Fallen Albaz, fusing with the Arise Heart to make a Mood Dragon. Now, Mood Dragon can declare an attribute. That attribute will be untargetable for a card like Fenrir. So do we declare Dark? So Dark monsters could not be targeted. That's what I'm thinking. Calling Light. Light monsters are untargetable. As we activate Branded Fusion to summon our Albion. Albion will be activating here. We're also chaining the Cartesia. Cartesia get fusion summoning into, with the Mood Dragon, making the Gangrenol. Now the Fenrir is open and ready to banish whatever card we want on the field. Banishing from the graveyard to make that Mirror Jade. Do we banish the Mirror Jade face down? Fenrir banishing the Mirror Jade. Gangrenol sending from the deck to the graveyard. First, we're going to use the Mirror Jade to send the Rinbrum from the extra deck to the graveyard to banish a card in the field. Dealing with the Fenrir. Goodbye to the Mirror Jade. We got Garura just to draw one card here. Shang-Ri is being triggered to lock up a zone. I can't believe this, how relevant this is right now. Locking up already 3 zones on the field. We got Kit searching for the Branded in white. As we return the fusion deployment back in the deck, Branded in white is going to be fusion summoning with the Albaz and Gangrenol, using the graveyard to make a Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade activatable again, by the way. We could banish, just like that. Double Mirror Jade in the same turn. Our field is no longer locked up. We are negated on that attack, but it's not relevant. We lost the opportunity to get Big Bang in because we need our Kashtira Exceed to be on the field. Rebellion setting up the Branded Loss, which is not really going to be adding to this field too much here. We have the Branded Banishment, which actually could trigger the Loss to search for the Mercurier for a monster negate. C, which could be changed to the Branded Banishment. We have Rise Heart special summoning onto the field, triggering the effect of the Gangrenol because a monster effect was activated to special summon. We're going to chain the Maxi to draw off of that special summon. Now, Coritis is probably what's going to be summoned here, which is not Disruption. Proskenion, again, not Disruption, but Proskenion, couldn't that steal an Arise Heart from the graveyard if we want? We have Masquerade, Blazing Dragon to trigger the Branded Loss to grab that Mercurier, as I was talking about, for that monster negate. Theosis is going to be special summoning a monster with a different attribute than the Rise Heart, which will be our Unicorn. Burning for 600 on every effect activation, grabbing the Birth, ready to birth a monster onto the field here. From the graveyard or banish, we are summoning our Fenrir. Now we are making Shang-Ri, waiting for a card to be banished face down for the opponents. We're going to be using the Fenrir to grab another Fenrir, which we could normal summon it with the Birth. Rise Heart banishing the Theosis, which will banish 3 to trigger the Shang-Ri, adding a banished card to the hand. Did we time out? What the heck was that? We timed. There's too much triggers, too much plays. We got to get used to Kashtira a bit here. Okay, let's hop into it. We got gain number 2. We're going to see the use of the thrust here. We could thrust in response to the Max C. What are we setting up? A Dimensional Barrier main deck, as there's no side deck in today's event. Oh, Oh, we could just we're grabbing the Theo. What the heck? Okay, that's not activatable. Interesting. Searching for a Theosis, and then we're going to be unicorning with the Theosis into the Fenrir. Fenrir searching for the Scareclaw Kashtira here. And now we are setting up with the Rise Heart, making the Shang-Ri, trigger the Shang-Ri, banishing 3 cards off the top of the deck. Let's see what those 3 cards are. Brand Retribution, which a lot of people are now playing too. It could be a one of. Locking up that zone. Get ready for the Arise Hearts. We are Arisen. Arise is here. Scareclaw Kashtira, banishing from the graveyard the Theosis. And we're going to be triggering the Theosis to set up with the Big Bang. Big Bang could banish until both players only have 1 monster on the field. I posted on Twitter, did I? Yes, that was me if I did. Shang-Ri into the Unicorn. Fusion deployments, potentially summoning an Albaz onto the field to fuse with the field here. Did not, it is activating. So this is interesting because the Arise Heart is a mandatory activation. It'll be the first chain link, then the Albaz is activating. We could be chain link 3 if we had a 3rd material, but we do not have it. Fusing with the Arise to make a Mirror Jade. Non-target monster banish. Tragedy being banished by card effect is going to be activating to search our deck for potentially an Alubur. Mirror Jade is activating to banish a card on the field, getting the Brigrand into the graveyard. Goodbye to the Shang-Ri with the effect of the Mirror Jade. Goodbye to the Lubellion with the effect of the Unicorn. Goodbye to the Mirror Jade with the effect of the Fenrir. You have to be careful in battling into any of the Kashtira monsters. The Scareclaw Kashtira will be negating you immediately. We do have our branded fusion, which I was thinking maybe we would have set a dimensional barrier, maybe teched into our deck since we're playing the Thrust. Albion on summon could banish to get fusion summoning into. Banishing the Brigrand and the Albaz to make a 2nd Mirror Jade, and it is activatable. Cartesia is going to be fusing into Proskenion. Proskenion is here. Book of Eclipse, flipping the entire field face down. We're going to take control of the Arise Heart by summoning it onto our side of the field, and we're going to get a Rinbrum into the graveyard before we get flipped face down. Goodbye to the Unicorn. Full field flippage. Draw 3 during the end phase. Draw 4 during the end phase. That's going to be a problem, is it not? Is draw 3, because we attributed the Albion, so it's draw 1 less card here. Setting up the Branded Lost, and get ready for draw 3. We're going to draw into a bunch of hand traps. The Mercurial will be activatable because the Mirror Jade will be face up. Adding our Cartesia. 1, 2, 3. No hand traps. And we are big banging within the end phase, usable because you took my Arise Heart. That's something you got to consider. Making the Big Bang live. Fenrir activating to search. Mercurial is going to negate the effect. We're going to then use our Mirror Jade to banish the Fenrir off the field before it activates its effect to banish the Mirror Jade. Very well done. We know that Theosis is face down. Now there is the Planet Field spell. Come to us, Unicorn. On the Summon of the Unicorn, are we going to be doing something? Yes, we will. We're going to be banishing the Rinbrum to summon the Fallen Albaz from the graveyard, but not activating its effect on summon. We're going to be using Branded Banishment to fuse. Using the graveyard, we could also use either field. Summoning the Albion, fusing the Albaz and the Albion to make our Borreload Furious Dragon, which could counter the Theosis. So when you activate Theosis onto the Unicorn, pop the Unicorn, and no summon. We are activating our Borreload before the activation of the Theosis even happening. Goodbye to that Unicorn, and come to us a kit for the next turn play. Leading us to the end phase, we have that useless face down card. It does look like Branded Despia definitely has this game ready and setting up a 2-0 victory. We have a lot of Herald of Abysses in today's event, which is maybe why Purrely is not in the top 16. I don't know if it is. I have to see. Where is Purrely? We're going to speed this up here. Mercurial being added. The Albion is going to be sending from the deck to the graveyard to then special summon itself onto the field here. Sending from the hand to the graveyard to get that special summon that is lethal damage for Branded Despia. Now, because there may not be a lot of Purrely players in the top 16 because of Herald of the Abyss, I will give you a tip. Just a tip. Get ready. I'm seeing that this is becoming really popular. It's in a lot of deck lists. They're thrusting for it. And the situation is, what do? They're declaring a type and attribute, which is going to be the X Purrely Nor. They're declaring Fairy and Dark, and then you, the player, have to send your unaffected X Purrely Nor to the graveyard. It doesn't trigger the street. It doesn't trigger the My Friend Purrely. What you have to do is you have to set one of your quick play spells, any of them. You have to have one of them set with your X Purrely Nor now to protect the X Purrely Nor. Even if it means having no cards in the hand, set the card, and then during their standby phase, you could activate the X Purrely Nor, you could draw a card, and when they activate the Herald of the Abyss, what you're gonna do is you're gonna chain your quick play spell that's face down, which you're normally not setting, but now you have to summon a Lily. Lily is a fairy, Lily is a dark. You're gonna send Lily, and your X Purrely Nor is going to stay on the field. So now you need that quick play set to protect your Nor from the Herald of the Abyss, which is everywhere. I'm seeing it everywhere. All right, let's go. Pathfinder. We are still figuring out if this card is needed to make Kashtira more consistent, as TCG had Terraforming in triple field spell. They also had triple Fenrir. We only have 2. Let's see, when do we Nibiru? You have to be careful with your toggle button, because if your toggle's not off on their 5th summon and they feel that delay and they think you have Nibiru, which they should, they could then change their mind, make a hard left turn, and make a Heretic Seal. So, bro, you revealed you had Nibiru straight up. You did not hide it, because if you tribute the Heretic Seal, it's now going to trigger. Okay. We got Small World bridging the Nibiru into the Lubellion. Lubel, discard, grabbing our Magna Hut. We are quite safe here, as if we get Nibiru, it's not going to be too big of a deal, triggering the Heretic Seal whenever it happens. And now we're just like... There is... The psychology of this is... I'm making Heretic Seal because I know you have Nibiru, and now Psycho wants to pretend like he doesn't have Nibiru, and you did that for no reason. Not going to admit that he has it, but we see it, and now they see it. We have Chaos Ruler, top 5 cards of the deck, mill them, add a light or dark among those 5 cards. Really? Okay, we got Ball Drake to the hand, almost completely whiffed it. Oh, now we are Nibiruing. Nibiru the field, Heretic Seal activate, triggering the Regained also to return to special summon the Magna Hut from the graveyard. Making Chaos, this is crazy. Chaos Angel, our monsters are indestructible by battle, but it is affected by monster effects. We don't have that protection. The Borland's going to be able to negate any monster in the field, cannot be targeted by monster effects, and is indestructible. Book of Eclipse will not be working on it. Pot of P, get digging deep. And with the impermanence, you have to use it on the summon of the Pathfinder. As soon as they enter an open game state, it's going to be off the field. They're going to be searching. We have the Scareclaw Kashtira, not a great ad. Banishing the Big Bang. Now, the Branded Regained is going to be triggered to reborn a Magna Hut from the graveyard, normal summoning our Pathfinder, not imperming it if we thought we should have, because we have a Call by the Grave instead to negate. Damn. Played right through a Nibiru like a boss. Very well done. We have no hand traps. Let's see how far we want to go here. Now, how well does Dragon Link deal with all of their cards being banished? In order to use the Triple Tactics talent, we need a monster effect to be activated within the main phase. By activating anything that would go to the graveyard, that's going to trigger the Arise Heart, and now we can use Triple Tactics talent to take control. Cross out Designate is going to negate the Triple Tactics talent. You are taking control of nothing. Cross out Designate is at 3 in TCG. That's quite wild. We do have the ability to quick effect banish any card in the field face down. And we are activating the mandatory effect here. If it's not detaching, it's not banishing. We are just continually sucking up. Suck it up. We're going to Fenrir after the resolution of your monster effect. Not only look at your extra deck to banish something face down, but also get rid of your Striker Dragon. Can't make the Romulus play to send an Absolrouter to search for a Rocket Tracer. Now get locking up. Double lock up. Double cards were banished, so we double lock. Is Shang-Ri field zone, not field zone, but field locking going to be relevant? Banishing from the deck, our Wyver Burster grabbing a Gamma here. A little late for that Gamma. And the Shang-Ri is again locking it up. Arise, keep on attaching. The Crossout Designate is what decided that duel. Setting up with the regain chaos spacing. We'll start counting up the summons. Serenir sending from the deck to the graveyard, searching for another Bestial. We have summon number 1, triggering the regain to return back to the deck to draw 1. Summon number 2. On the 5th summon, the Nibiru will attribute the entire field of face-up cards. Grabbing the Collapse Serpent off of the Wyver Burster, and we have summon number 3, summon number 4. 4 summons, Collapse Serpent grabbing a Wyver Burster that can be discarded with the Ravine. Summon number 5, did the field light up? Well, we'll find out. Revealed your Nibiru again. This is not normal. You don't go Erratic Seal here. You don't, unless the opponent tells you to. So in the TCG on their 5th summon, you just go Nibiru. Tracer. So what's the plan with Nibiru now? We are going to be waiting. We're going to see. Nope. Yeah. Ended the main phase. No, I didn't have Nibiru. You saw nothing. You felt nothing. Fenrir triggering the regain, summoning the Magna Hut. Magna Hut activating to search for a dragon during the end phase, which will trigger the Fenrir to banish the Masquerena to be negated by the impermanence, not forcing out the Masquerena. Erratic Seal could spin a card in the field, back to the hand, non-targeting. And Masquerena is ready and waiting to get Lincoln. We're going to take control of a monster, taking the Masquerena. Theosis onto the Fenrir, which the Ash will negate, or the Erratic Seal could have spun back. Very interesting here. Goodbye to the Theosis. Now the Kashtira, Scareclaw, banishing from the hand. The Big Bang will not be activating as we spin back the hard once per turn summonable Scareclaw Kashtira. To battle we go, and are we going to do something with the Masquerena? I don't think so. Yes, we are. We're going to tribute set for a Scareclaw Kashtira. Now, remember, the opponent knows that there is a Nibiru. And if they could play under it, they're going to. So let's count up the summons. This should not be a surprise. They saw the field light up on the 5th summon. So summon number 1. And you can hide Nibiru with your toggle on. You toggle it off on the 5th summon. It does not matter. I know you have Nibiru, now it's gone. Now we are going to be searching for the Serenir, setting this up. That's our normal summon, tributing to search for a Rocket Tracer. We got the Boot Sector launch to summon that Tracer from the hand, pop in the field spell to summon a level 4 from the deck, banishing a Light and Dark to summon that Chaos Ruler from the graveyard, linking this up into a triple Burst Dragon here. Now we're going to further link this up into Access Code Talker for over 8,000 damage with the Chaos Ruler. Popping the card on the field, it just like that, 8,000 damage. Dragon Link taking out Kashtira in the top 16. Whoever went first won. Very interesting. Thank you to both of you. Let's hop into some more. This is Makonko. No, not Makonko. I saw Kaiju and thought Makonko. It is Spright versus Kashtira. Huh? Did we just maxi to our own shifter on our own turn? Yes, we did. Because you know what? We're going to make an Arise Heart, and then Maxi is dead anyway. It kind of makes sense. It does. Maxi is going to be dead. Unless they have a Kaiju for our Arise Heart, and then we don't have Maxi anymore. That's a problem. We are going to make the Shang-Ri Rise Heart special summon, trigger the Shang-Ri to make that easy Arise, banishing the top 3 of the deck. Goodbye to a Gamma. Diva being used now because the Nimble Beaver is limited to 1. I don't know if Luigi's playing Gishki. There is a chance for that. I'd like to see it. Pot of P, digging deep. What are we grabbing? Imperm. Imperm it is. Imperm is the way. Making the Arise. We are about to, you know, again, the shifter, even though if the Arise gets outed, the shifter is still in effect, so the Max C is not usable. Even if we do get Kaiju, it would then be only usable by turn 4, that is. So it's not too big of a deal losing that Max C. Come for the Unicorn. Harpy Feather Duster. Actually pretty good here, wiping out that Impermanence Disruption. The Arise Heart needs 3 materials to be activatable. Triple Tactics Talent. Now, I had a question in the Discord saying, why did Decade summon Arise Heart over Shang-Ri sometimes to get that instant 3 materials? And my response was pretty much, it counters them taking control of your Arise Heart. If you have that instant 3 materials, you could activate it to banish anything, then that soft once per turn tied to the card is not activatable for them, or you could even banish the Arise Heart itself so that they don't take control of it. And then now they get that 3rd material, just like that, ready for them to use. Activating the mandatory effect of the Arise Heart to equip even more materials in response to you banishing a card from my extra deck. That extra deck banish was a Zeus. We are now going to be detaching that triple material. Goodbye to the Shang-Ri and keep on going. You know, the Fenrir is just chilling. The Fenrir says, no, I do not want to activate. Now, sucking up that Fenrir. We're going to have to give back the Arise Heart unless we use it for a Link Summon. Come to us, starter. Into the red Shokan, into the Shadow Mosquito. This card is so weird. If you have a lot of monsters on the field, you then swing into a monster and it reflects their damage. It turns you into a Makonko deck. You put a hallucination counter on the first attack, and then on the other 3 attacks, you're gonna do 33, 33, 33. It's like, what? Okay, let's go. That is what's gonna happen right now. 3,300. You don't even have to attack in the monster itself. This is wild. Ninja Shadow Mosquito, write down this lethal play. And just like that, the final attack with the Arise Heart, 33, 33, 33. Very well done. Damn. Normally you need 5 monsters to do it because you're not going to have a 3,000 attack monster on the field unless you're giving them that Kaiju. Wow. Luigi, that was insane. Konami should be making a bundle for it. It's not a leak, but it's something they should be doing. Change of Heart in the main deck. It is semi-limited. We are going second. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Finding the path into the field spell for our Unicorn play, Ash Negate. And just like that, there is no more hand traps, but we have the turn 2 cards to disrupt whatever turn 1 field they make. Let's speed this up. Very well done. And now we have Arise Hearts. 1 material again. The Change of Heart's gonna be kind of a counter. We're gonna Book of Eclipse in the draw phase, flipping everything face down. We have Deep Sea Diva, no Imperm on the Diva. Imperm onto the Spright Blue, searching for a Spright monster from the deck. Are we gonna even use our Change of Hearts? This is quite interesting. We're gonna be linking this up into the Spright Elf, able to reborn a monster back from the graveyard. Mosquito again, what are you doing? What's going on? Okay, we're Zeusing. That's what we're doing. We are Zeus in the field, and it's going to have enough materials to dodge the impermanence. Zeus is one of the top counters to Kashtira. Bro, you gave up. You didn't want to, like, imperm, force out the other 2 materials. He's just, like, he feels defeated. He doesn't even want to play anymore. Oh, my Jesus. Wow. He elfed it. It was protected by elf. What an absolute mad lad. Wow. Unbelievable. Very well done. Protecting your 2 materials with the elf. Beautiful. Luigi, what is going on? I haven't seen Spright play like this for a while. What the heck? Winning with Mosquito, protecting the Zeus with the elf. Oh my Jesus. And now we're just drawing dead. Shifter completely dead. Theosis, no monster to use it on. We got Mannequin Cat. We could reborn a monster from their graveyard, then target it and summon a monster from our deck or grave. but that is enough for lethal damage. 2-0 victory. Spright winning with Shadow Mosquito and then wiping up the entire field with Zeus. You really need Unicorn to banish Zeus. We have to get that Zeus out of the extra deck. It's incredibly important. Hajime. How do I feel about the tier cash pre-hit? I think they hit tier a bit too hard. But the cash hits seem to be quite perfect. I just think Purrely is maybe a little bit too powerful, but where's Purrely in today's event? I don't see Purrely players. Maybe it really is the aesthetic of the deck. Oh, hello, Purrely. Talking about no Purrely, here's Purrely. Now, can Purrely defeat Swasi Senpai to then take on Kashtira? My friend Purrely revealing triple Delicious Memory. This is the first Purrely deck I've seen today. Come forth, Purrely Imperm, negating Purrely from adding a card off the top of the deck. That is really interesting. Not negating the Lily, but negating the regular Purrely. We are going to then Dimensional Barrier Declare Exceed. You could just wait for the activation of the monster and not have to do it preemptively, but that's okay. You're battling with the dark. This is not going to be turning into anything crazy here. We have no dark monster in our graveyard. Got Double Book and Impermanence. We've got Herald of the Abyss. I think Herald of the Abyss, because of Thrust, has been eating up Purrely today. Imperm negating the Kisa kill, which you do sometimes got to be careful about that, because if they have a way to get the Kisa kill off the field, maybe Econ Take, even Book of Moon being a popular card, that could summon another monster from the deck. Book of Moon flipping down to stop the link here. Now we have our Happy Memory. We're going to be revealing 3 cards to randomly add one of them to our hand. One of them will be discardable here. Discarding to summon the Lily. Lily could be searching for the street, or it could be searching for a regular Purrely to normal summon. Did not Book of Moon the Lily to search for a Purrely to then normal summon. Okay. Swinging in, 1350. Was Book of Moon the correct usage here to YOLO a card off the top of the deck? Maybe not. Flipping up the Leela, summon a Spright Pixies. We're going to Book of Moon, flip down that Pixies as we now take out the Lily. Now, again, we're going to draw and then guaranteed add a quick play spell to the hand to be usable here. 1, 2, 3. With the Happy Memory, we do potentially have lethal damage here, as we're going to be summoning a Lily. Lily can use that happiness, adding the regular Purrely. Lily into the happiness for lethal damage. Now, do any of the Live Twin cards reduce damage on attack here? Something with the Leela Street. The tree is in the graveyard, though. The Snitch, I don't think so. I think it's just straight up lethal damage. You have Happy equipping onto the happiness, spinning back the Snitch back to the hand if we want to, making it activatable again. But will there even be an again to activate it on? Swing to the Pixie, search for the Delicious. Delicious make the Leela indestructible by battle. We're going to also reduce its attack, equip it, and just like that, that is attack 3 more times over the Leela Treat for that lethal damage. Lethal it up as we now hop into game number 2. All right, well done, Purrely. As we can see, the Purrely deck and other people's decks, everyone has built their deck a little bit differently today. Book of Moons are now everywhere. Look at that, Herald of the Abyss all day today. Not really seeing it being used, but it's just there. Ready for the X Purrely Nor. You have Ash. When do we Ash? Okay, we're hitting the Sunny Snitch just like that. That was actually a really good use of the Ash in this circumstance. We can't trigger the blue. Damn. Ending the turn with that Ash. Multiple Streets is another deck change we may be expecting today, as it is very good against a Rise Heart. Rise Heart may be quickly banishing the first use of your street, then you activate another one, then they're really screwed. Not using Book of Moon for that random chance to get a quick play off the top of the deck here. Holding onto it. We're going to Ghost Cherries. Wow. Banishing all copies of X Purrely Nor from the opposing extra deck before we commit to a play, and that play being nothing. Now, we don't need the X Purrely Nor on the attack. We could go into Happiness. On an open field, we need X Purrely Happiness, which a lot of Purrely players are not playing. What is going on? We just can't make plays? You max C, but I don't have anything. I'm sorry, I can't play. I can't do anything. You both of you can't do anything. The only potential play could have been using Book of Moon on the Purrely earlier to randomly get a quick play spell to then do something off of that. Which I think it would have potentially been worth the risk, because Lily into my friend into pretty much guarantees setting up something. We are going into the Leela. Imperm is going to be negating the Leela, but now we could follow up into the blue. Unless we Book of Moon on the resolution, so we can't special summon the blue. Well, now the Book of Moon is much less good here as we special summon the Jet, searching for the starter. Start it up, start into the Carrot, Shokan into Gigantic Spright. We do have to flip it down before it activates. If you chain Book of Moon to Gigantic Spright while it's face down, it still detaches the material, summoning a monster from the deck. We now have Spright Elf. I mean, was that not the time to book? Well, what are we saving the book for? Shokan into Kisakil. The problem with booking the Gigantic Spright early is that they could then make another Gigantic Spright and then use that effect. So maybe we wanted to avoid that here. Leela, come to me. Leela summoning Kisakil. We're going to draw a card off of that summon. And if Kisakil summons Leela, it will be popping a card on the field. Do not have lethal damage, but now we have quite the formidable setup here to disrupt our opponent's plays. How are we getting Leela in the graveyard, though? Huh? We don't have a Masquerena in the grave. We are going to be using the effect to special summon our Lily. Lily's searching for a Purrely to normal summon here. Kisakil is going to be activating to draw a card because you added a card to your hand. Purrely, these burn effects. Oh my Jesus. Imperm, negate. This is a situation where we could Zeus the fields, but there's a dimensional barrier. And I guess we're stopping that right here, right now. Exceed summoning is not possible. Plus they are negated. Reborning our blue. We could make an Azalea to pop a card in the field. Do we have enough? We do not have enough in the graveyard to make the Azalea stay on the field, though. Dark's going to be reborning a monster in the graveyard, taking the Ghost Cherries. Burn, burn, burn. Continually burning after every summon. Is Thrust going to get Dimensional Barrier banned? I am not so sure about that. Elf reborning, the Jet. The Thrust into a Daruma is also another good option if you get Max Seed. So Max Seed, Thrust, set Daruma, Thrust, set Dimensional Barrier. It is a really good anti-Max Seed play. Discard, spin back that back row. Drawing because we're co-linked, by the way. What you rarely see with the Nightmare Unicorn. Taking out the cherries with the effect of the Kisakil, summoning the Leela to trigger its effect. Smasher smashing the Dark off the field. 6,800 damage on the field after a back and forth of nothing until turn 9 to finish this duel. We are finally taking this into game 3. Imperm on Lily, Ash on the My Friend Purrely. Completely shut down by the impermanence. Just like that, you felt safe with the Call by the Grave, and then the Imperm gotcha. Imperm making it so a card like Thrust, Talents, Call by the Grave, all three, no good. Everyone should be playing Impermanence. Even more so because of Thrust and Arise. Ash is going to be negating, and if we finger the Ash, then our own Ash does not work. So, holding on to the Called By, so we do not disable the Ash in our hand. And because we have more plays anyway. We're going to be adding the Treat. Treat could special summon if we have the Kisakil. And just like that, we got plays. Kisakil attempting to reborn from the graveyard. We are going to be banishing the wrong one. So are we supposed to banish the Treat? I don't understand. Special summon a Leela. And you banish the Kisakil. That was the wrong finger, mate. Imperm chaining to the Leela, activating to summon the Kisakil to draw a card. Okay. Now, to battle we go. We have to play off the top of the deck. And to play off the top of the deck, we just get access to a Lily. We could go into a Beauty. Nibiru here. Not going to be very good. Attempting to end our main phase as we're going to now be summoning our Kisakil to draw a card. Now, can we quickly finish this duel without getting Nibiru'd? Well, we do summon Gigantic Spright. Gigantic Spright turning off the Nibiru would be ideal. Okay. We'll wait for main phase 2. You know, he wasn't threatening lethal. I mean, but he is, though. Huh? Did I miscount the summons? I don't get it. Whatever. I didn't have Nibiru anyway. And just like he just want to get out of the duel. It's just like, just let me get out of here. I mean, what am I going to top deck into? You have disruption anyway. Why am I going to drag this duel out? Nibiru's not going to help me win this duel. It's just wasting my time. It's wasting your time. It's wasting everyone's time. Just pretend it's not there. Finish me. D-Shifter in the mirror. There's a big potential discussion on should Shifter even be used if Kashtira is going to be popular. It could be an instant win versus many decks, but then you lose to the mirror match. Dark Lord No More was not used because of Diablosis locking up all of the zones with the Shang-Ri, and if you negate the Shang-Ri, your zones are still locked. But now that that's not really a thing, Dark Lord No More is actually a great option. Let's go. Passing turn 1. Yeah, again, Kashtira is bricking so much in today's tournament. And the anti-brick is Pathfinder, as we're now trying to negate the Pathfinder. We also have Ash Blossom to negate it from searching for a field spell. So this is really interesting. Dumping our hand traps on the Pathfinder, not having Pathfinder ourselves, and bricking. I think I might be sold on Pathfinder. If it was really that important to use 2 hand traps on, and it was actually needed to make a play, there's something there. Okay. Off the top, set our book. Special Unicorn, get booked. Ends our turn, by the way. This is making Kashtira look really pathetic. I don't understand what's going on. Okay, we don't have book, so we're not going to be able to stop it by flipping it down. Imperming it makes the Theosis activatable here. We do have Ash to stop the Theosis, though. If you happen to already have it in the hand, you could argue that Imperm on the Unicorn in a simplified game state here was okay because there's a bit of a back and forth. On turn 1, I would argue to not do that, though. Be gone. We are negated, so we can't banish a card from the extra deck. We do have Birth to reborn our Unicorn to get popping off now. Now, finally, on turn 6, we could do something. Let's do it. What do we decide to do? Oh my Jesus. Birth triggers Birth to banish the Unicorn face down. That's it. We have no play. There's nothing. Oh my gosh. There needs to be 3 cards in the graveyard to banish for this to even trigger. That's wild. Oh no. And we're gonna have to do this under Max C. How far do we go under the Max C? It's gonna be draw 1, draw 2, draw 3 if we want to go right into the Arise Heart. Or, you know, we could just kind of chill. Just chill. We chillin'. We didn't summon a Fenrir. But now we are. Okay, we have 4,900 damage here. Can we put up lethal? Ash is going to negate the search for a monster that would be normal summonable, but we already have the Ogre. Ogre summon, and that's something. Goodbye to the Birth. Birthing the Ogre onto the field, 7,700 damage. And we have the Red Eyes Flare Dragon for over 8,000 damage, finally taking a Game 1 victory by turn 7. A duel where no Arise Heart was ever summoned. Says Boomer Yu-Gi-Oh! We're playing right now. All right, we have Fenrir versus no hand traps in sight. It is worth noting that in the mirror match in TCG, at the top levels of YCS in the top cut, I would continually see the losing player would choose to go second. They did not want to go first because they don't want to deal with cards like Triple Tactics Talent, all the turn 2 cards. But to be fair, that is with the side deck. There is no side deck in today's event. So knowing that you can't just front load a ton of turn 2 cards into your main deck, maybe it's okay to go first. We're going to be summoning the Kashtira. So what we could do with the Scareclaw is not summon it and then use its effect to banish the Theosis to then add back the Big Bang, which would have been better here. So now we ain't banging. No bang. Bang is gone. Shang-Ri activating. Now we could plop an Arise Heart over our own Kashtiras This is something, the Triple Tactics talent is not activatable, but the Harpy Feather Duster will trigger the Arise Heart, which will make use of our talent. This is big. Goodbye Imperm. Mandatory trigger. And now we could take control. Very nice. We had to activate the Arise Heart. Now we're going to chain the effect, banishing the Tactics talent. So what's interesting here, if we take control of the Arise Heart, we cannot activate it because it is tied to the card, not to the player, of being able to activate that card. And so we're going to yoink. We are going to still yoink the Arise, gaining a material, locking another zone with the Shang-Ri. Now we're going to get banging. Bang is going to target the Shang-Ri to summon a unicorn onto the field. Or we could just hold it for the follow-up. We just don't summon it. I can agree with that. That worked out. We are banishing a Zeus, and now the Arise Heart doing the mandatory activation. I can't believe we're already locking up 3 zones with that Shang-Ri so far. Equipping up that Zeus, and Zeus now in the graveyard. There could be a reason to play Omega in the extra deck. Omega equipped onto the Arise Heart to shuffle back a card like Zeus in your extra. That might be a good option here, where TCG did not have to do that. And now we are big eyeing. Now again, we didn't make our easy Arise Heart play yet, but now we will. Because of that Shang-Ri activating, we could just 1 card Arise. This is the power of Triple Tactics talent. We got the birth, ready to birth a monster back onto the field. Here is our Fenrir. We have the Kashtira field spell, boosting up the attack of the field, also adding a monster, special summoning the Rise Heart, normal summoning a monster, 14,000 damage on the field. Absolute insanity. Fenrir on the attack, banishing the Unicorn, triggering the Arise. Arise can now activate, banishing the Fenrir off the field. Now the 14k is not completely 14k because the Big Eye cannot attack, as you can see by the icon there, which I think Konami should add more icons to the game. What do you think? Lethal damage, 2-0 victory, going second with Kashtira, winning with Triple Tactics talents. Very nice. Ooh, look at that. Look at that field. The Labrynth field spell. The field that is. The Palo Labrynth. What is this, like intestines or something? This is kind of interesting. All right, this is interactable. Got some lightning, got some zaps on it. Getting Kaiju, then normal summoning our Rise Heart to be Daruma Cannon to flip it all face down here. And we are now special summoning the Ariana, returning it back to the hand, triggering the Stovey. And that's interesting that we did not want to return a lady to then summon the lady. But now we have Ariana searching for our Chandelier, comboed up with the Coup Clock, use it on a lower chain link, then the furniture card. So that's going to trigger the Coup Clock to summon itself onto the field or add itself back to the hand, and making our newly set trap activatable. The turn it was set, Big Welcome Labrynth is going to be summoning our lovely Labrynth. Are we actually going to Nibiru a Labrynth deck here? We're on summon number 3, summon number 4. One more summon and we get Nibiru'd. I've never seen Labrynth get Nibiru'd. This will be quite interesting. Come forth and summon. That is the 4th. Whoa, Nibiru's gone. It's still not going to happen. Randomly popping that card from the hand. Flip it up. Goodbye to the Rise Heart as we could deal some damage directly. We're ready within the next turn to trigger the Lovely again. And with Lovely on the field, you can't chain Ash to the Big Welcome, which is the main counter to the deck. It's too much. It's too much. I'm out. I'm out. Max C in the draw phase. What did I say? You know, you would thrust, set Dimensional Barrier. You don't care they got Max Seed. Or just open up your Dimensional Barrier. Dimensional Barrier, of course, not good against Labrynth, though. And we bricked anyway. It's just like, you thought we had a play, but we have no play. Yeah, as you see, your Max C did nothing. A common theme with Kashtira today, pathetically just bricking horribly. I think that I have to play triple Pot of D and triple Pathfinder is more and more seemingly to be the way. Daruma is gonna dodge the impermanence, flip it down. Flipping down is now in style. Everyone is flipping face down. We're gonna be activating Our Lady, special summoning it onto the field here. And if we chain we could chain the lady to a normal trap unless we chain link block it here with something like a Book of Moon. We're gonna Kaiju it instead. We would not be able to Book of Moon the lady though, as it would be untargetable. Big welcome Labrynth, special summoning from the deck. Lovely Labrynth, returning the Ariana to now activate the lovely Labrynth to pop a card in the field, non-targeting, take out the Book of Moon, it just making us surrender. Oh my God. That is the top 16. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and watching as much of the video as you can. I will be then uploading the next day the top 8 and grand finale plus all the top deck lists. Thank you very much. Hajime.